Hi everyone, this is your favorite friend Jay or Jaylan Salah, as you formerly know her, film critic at Geek Vibes Nation, In Session Film, and Keith Loves Movies. Today I have another channel favorite, Chris Kollick, or our friend Stone Gasman from Twitter, very famous on YouTube for his amazing film audio commentaries. Today we have a favorite of both of us, and you haven't guessed it, both the book and the movie are our favorites. So we both love both. We have a lot to say about both. It's Perfume Story of a Murderer, written by the brilliant Patrick Süskind. It's a novel that, I don't know, if you haven't read it, please leave whatever you're doing and read it in one city. Oh, there it is. There it is. Look at this beautiful cover. Oh my God. Leave it to Stone, to Chris, to always have something ready so that you just show it and people would get the feel. Look at this. Look at this amazing cover. Look at this. It's one of the most brilliant novels ever written. Great tale. I just want to ask my dear friend Chris, when was the first time you read this masterpiece?
The first time I read it, and it was the first time I was made aware of it, was because of the movie, basically.
Really?
I saw the movie. I liked what the story and the cast, and I was sold on it, and I liked the movie. I thought it was one of the best films of that year, directed by Tom Tykwer. But the screenwriter, one of the screenwriters also produced the movie. And it was actually made in cooperation with four different countries of all things: Germany, France, Spain, and the United States. They all chipped in on the budget for this thing because it was a ravishing $60 million budget, like lavish movie. But it's about a killer, a murderer, yeah, which makes it pretty interesting. I After I liked the movie, I read the book, and but the funny thing is, sort of like how scents, whatever you're smelling may dissipate in just a few seconds. I haven't really thought about perfume since reading the book and watching the movie initially in 2006.
I don't know, he kind of everyone annoyed me in this film except Ben Whishaw. I just like Ben so much. Why? I'll tell you. There's there's this is my problem with the film. First of all, it's split. There's the artistic part and the narration and the dialogue. Dialogue sucks. Narration doesn't add. I feel like now that you told me there are four production companies or four, countries producing it, now I get it. It feels like it's a film torn between two pieces. It wants to be an artistic piece that works on the senses, like French cinema or, like Spanish obscure cinema. And it won't stuck to the normal average moviegoer, like, hey, this is what John Baptiste did. This is what he's going to do. He went to see his mentor. He killed all these women. Shut up, you guys. And the moment he opens his mouth, you just want him to shut it back. Even Ben Whishaw. Ben Whishaw has a great face, great eyes. And the moment he opens his mouth and his voice comes out, you just want to, like strangle him. So for me, I think this is what probably divided people. People who like artistic films who want to be in the middle, like in the realm of the senses, would feel like, but why the narration? People who just want to see a movie about a killer would be like, but all those silent scenes, why? So I want to hear your take.
Well, see, it's funny because in all the screenwriting guides, they say that, voiceover narration is a very dangerous device. It's just, no matter who it is. Now, in a documentary, a lot of times it makes sense.
Definitely.
I mean, and they brought on John Hurt, a very well-respected actor from like Alien and a bunch of other movies. I mean, yeah, they brought him on board to do the narration. I'm not sure the narration was, first of all, necessary.
Thank you.
And
Oh,
I also would have trimmed this movie by about 20 to 30 minutes.
yes.
There was no reason for it to be 147 with credits. No reason whatsoever. This could have been easily a 2 hour movie. And Tom Tykwer, he's a very talented director. I mean, Run Lola Run
Lola
from
Run
from 1999 is like one of the most awesome
ever
movies.
made in the universe. Please.
Yes, yes, it's incredible. Franca Potent, before she got into the Bourne films. Oh, it's awesome. I've seen it many times.
Me too.
And I knew going into Perfume that this was going to work, But at the same time, yeah, it feels a little messy. Like, what this is my big question that I have for you.
Mm.
In the book, does Grenouille, does he not, for the first victim, slash her throat? Or am I misremembering?
Remember that? My goodness.
Did he really just strangle her?
I get
Because in the book, it felt like he was dead set on doing it, like any killer would. In the movie, it feels like he accidentally killed her. Am
Oh,
I wrong on that?
okay, I'll tell you.
Yes. This was one thing. I thought that the
Strangled her.
movies,
I'll tell you why he strangled her. Look, I'm
yes,
sure that he strangled her in the novel and tell you why. He treats these victims like very precious beings. He would never slash someone's throat. Why? He wants the scent. So if you slash someone's
exactly.
throat, it will be blood and copper. This is a guy with a very sensitive nose, and he wants to retain the scent greedily as long as possible. So yes, he strangled. This is why, because I remember that he strangled her, but then I wanted to double check. Yes, he does. He strangles her because he wants to
Okay.
do it as less messy as possible so that he can immerse himself greedily and viciously and very sinister in her scent, the real scent of the human being, which was the idea that I loved about not making it. I don't know. I don't think making it about a serial killer is a good idea. It's stupid because it's not about that. I think it's more about obsession, probably. Something
Yes.
that goes too
Yes.
far, that is in the hands of someone, a better talented director. I think he would have focused on that, or not talented because Tommy's really good, but I mean a director that had a focus at least, like he knew what he wanted to do. You don't have to be faithful to the novel, to the source material. Give me a sense of it. And the sense of this novel is all the visual scenes, none of the
Yes.
talking scenes at all.
Yes.
Those stuff,
Yeah.
the
The
orgy scene.
dialogue is surprisingly just flat in a lot of cases.
Yes.
I mean, I love Alan Rickman. I was hoping for him to be a bit more animated when he starts asking Grenouille, "Why did you kill my daughter?" But he says it in almost the same inflection that, without a, like I would have expected this guy would have been much more upset. I don't know. It just,
Definitely, it fell flat. It didn't make sense. Probably it didn't make sense because they didn't get a grasp on the novel. Should we make it about the investigation, about the mourning father,
right.
or about Jean-Baptiste Grenouille walking like a slimy worm through the streets of France, smelling, especially Paris, smelling, sniffing people like a dog that cannot be satiated, like always hungry for more. So,
Mhm.
and how just the idea of him killing those women was actually part of his search, his frantic search for this scent, for this ethereal scent. Yeah, I would have probably wanted the novel to contain him killing even men and stuff like that, like to try even other scents, but still I kind of understood him. Like he's just this person, the way he came from. Probably in my head, it was also he was deprived from a mother's love and embrace at a very young age. So probably he was seeking that too. Like he was searching for this mother, for this scent of a mother, which he never got a chance to know. So this would have made sense. Of course, the movie doesn't give you any of that at all. It's just he's this crazy dude killing women and trying to make perfumes for the rich. So of course, and people with their wigs and their makeup, so it kind of turns you off. So definitely,
100%. 100%. I was hoping for more of the stuff in the book, like with he likes to go out at night. It ignores that. It also ignores like when he comes back as a living out in what, like a cave for like 8, 9 years and everything. And he comes back and like he actually lies and pretends like he's like this survivor, and he gets all this money and respect automatically. Like it skips over that as well. And I thought, why do you spend so much time? I understand, sort of like when you sniff something, like you go into Bed Bath and Beyond and you're sniffing a candle. You want to get the aroma of every scene. And then for some reason, he just keeps going with it. It feels like every scene just had to be trimmed down a bit.
definitely, definitely.
If yes,
It does, because
and
when you see the scene of unfortunately the first kill, it was made very beautiful. The way he followed this woman with, I think,
Yes.
apricots or something, and then he sniffs her. This was very beautiful. But the scenes with the perfumes, I can't smell it. Like this scene was shot beautiful that I could smell everything. Her skin, what she was cutting, like, or removing the pits, the way he was sniffing her. I think the contrast between his probably terrible scent because he looked very gross and her. But in the scenes where he was making perfumes and it took very long, I couldn't,
Yes.
I don't care. You know what I mean? They're just bottles and you're pouring stuff in there. So I couldn't feel the scent, unlike when I was in the book, because the descriptions were so vivid. The gross ones, the terrible ones, the putrid ones, and the wonderful ones. Like he was describing, I think, a woman. Wow, he's such a pervert, but I love him. Patrick Süskind.
Yes.
He was like describing the body of a woman like it was cake with milk poured on. And I was like, wow, I want to eat. Oh my God, you are such, this is so
Whoa.
gross, you guy. But it's still brilliant, you know what I mean? But you couldn't
It
feel
is.
that in the movie. Not in every scene, like some scenes you could feel, but the scenes of making the perfumes, probably pouring the flowers and the way those petals, yes. But then you had scenes boring where you just have like all those, glass stuff where you pour the. I just didn't. I didn't feel it.
I understand. That's completely fair. One thing I need to mention is that, of course, we open up in Paris of all places, and it made me think of over the summer during the Olympics when people complained about the water. It's like it's supposed to be stinking like hell, right? Like there right now. It made me
Exactly.
think of that. So, like, oh yeah, 300 years later, things haven't changed.
And you know, it's repeating itself. You need another Patrick
It's all
Süskind.
repeating itself. And see, that's the thing with Perfume. I don't think I can think of another classic bit of literature like the book, aside from Cyrano de Bergerac,
I love
which
Cyrano.
is so revolved around noses and smells and scents and odors and
It's
just, oh my
brilliant.
God. The book is like, and the book is a very quick read, by the way.
That's
5, 6 hours
that's so true.
tops. It's a very quick read. And the movie, ironically enough, feels longer.
Feels long and boring, which is why I feel like you've done the material wrong, you guys. Shame on you for doing this to Patrick.
Look, I think that Dustin Hoffman and Alan Rickman are both good, despite the fact that they kind of cancel each other out in terms of screen time, in terms of presence. Like, and I enjoyed Hoffman. I don't understand why people got down on Dustin
No, but
Hoffman.
I love, by the way, I love Dustin Hoffman. Dustin Hoffman is one of my favorite. I didn't like him here. He was annoying to me, but Dustin Hoffman, I mean, Kramer versus Kramer, The Graduate,
Yes.
Straw Dogs,
Yeah.
my God, all those crazy movies back in the day. What else? Like he's one of the best.
The Graduate.
I mean, Mrs. Robinson, that ending scene.
Oh, yes. Yes.
No, he's just brilliant. Rain Man, everything this guy did was good.
He's a legend and his reputation and legacy has been slightly tainted by the Me Too movement. I mean,
I think we have to kind of like separate in a way.
yes, absolutely. I mean,
He's
when I when
brilliant.
I see this movie, I think of him playing the character, not Dustin
Me
Hoffman,
too.
because
Me
he's
too.
that good.
He is
Yeah,
good. He is a very good
he's
actor.
yeah,
He's one of the best, honestly. And he has very
and
few roles that just tear the character apart. And when you see him with Meryl Streep in Kramer versus Kramer, these two are getting at each other. It's just amazing. So I don't
but
know.
look, I have to say, in the years since I saw Perfume back in 2006, I have become a massive Ben Whishaw fan. Massive. Look, I saw Bright Star 3 times in the theater.
It's a brilliant film.
It's an absolutely brilliant film from the director of the piano, Jane
Jane
Campion.
Campion is
Yeah.
one of my favorites, and she does these things right. She does the longing right and all those intense feelings right. Ben Whishaw is great in this film.
He voices Paddington Bear. I've loved all the Paddington movies.
And he has to voice Paddington. Like here, his voice should have been muted, but in Paddington, definitely. And he did
Yeah.
amazing. Because he's so powerful with his eyes and his face. I didn't want John Baptiste to have a voice. Honest, I just didn't.
You know what? I agree.
I
I
don't know.
agree.
I
He didn't even need to have a word of dialogue
I know.
almost.
There are scenes where you feel like you just
Yeah.
watched him, and Ben is brilliant. Ben is a very good actor, so you just
Yes.
watched him,
He's an awesome actor.
and
Yeah.
you would have felt that's enough. And here he was very vulnerable and innocent too as a younger. So it was just even it gave him this very mean fragility. You know what I mean? Like when you see this skinny, like guy with his eyes looking everywhere, you would never imagine that he has all this violent nature inside him, which makes him even more interesting in my eye. So definitely, so you have to admire him. There is this amazing film with him and Adele Exarchopoulos and Frank Rogowski called Passengers. They're playing a love triangle, and it's a brilliant film. It's like one of my favorites of 2023. I love this film so much, and I highly recommend it.
Oh,
He's seriously like, yes, Frank and Adele are the ones holding the film, but he's still there, part of the triangle too. And it's a brilliant film on modern relationships, basically.
I got to catch it. I got to
You
check it
have
out.
to. It's so good. It's so good. So, but which was better for you, Alan Rickman or Dustin Hoffman here?
I have to say Dustin.
Okay, why?
I'm shocked to say that, but I mean, because, well, actually, I mean, yeah, Alan Rickman. I mean, Dustin Hoffman has won two Oscars. Alan Rickman has won zero, but that doesn't mean anything really, because Alan Rickman is awesome. I mean, he's been awesome in everything he's been in. In this movie,
He doesn't
it
have,
felt like he didn't.
yeah,
Maybe Tom didn't push him enough. Maybe there just wasn't enough of
real,
a synergy between him and the character, but there was something off.
you know.
There was something off. I still love him, but there was something off with Alan Rickman.
Okay. So what I want to ask you,
Yeah,
which is more very important to me. Why do you think when he poured the perfume on himself and people sort of worshipped him and then they started all having sex together, he hated them? Don't you think this tells you a lot about his idea of obsession? Or even think about it when you see this like a singer or like celebrity or actor and they have admirers, and in the beginning they have just this small group of admirers, and then it grows bigger and bigger and bigger and they have world fame, and you see them getting really bored sometimes and just dismissing everyone around, and you're like, bitch, why? This is what you've been dreaming of all your life, now you're getting bored. But I think it was telling a lot about the psyche, about something that probably none of us normal people would ever feel, the idea of having people worshiping you or loving you, and then you feeling that it means nothing, and you start getting greedier because no one knows me. And then you start reverting probably to your initial state when you wish that at least one person in the world would love the real you. So I don't know. I think it's seeking this elusive feeling that in the end will get you back where you started. What do you think?
that is an interesting angle to look at all this.
Because this scene just mesmerized me. This guy has never been loved, has never been
Never.
cared for. No one even noticed him. No one, even his own mother, ditched him at birth. And then he has this chance to be loved, even superficially. And this is what I would see when you would hear, like celebrities saying, these people love my image, but not me. In the beginning, I used to think, oh, yeah, what a pretentious thing to say. But as I knew some actors who got a little bit of fame, some of them, my friends and stuff, and I would see their inner conflict being so aggressive, I would start to realize, wow, these people are like grappling with some serious issues now. They don't know whether they're happy with certain following or certain fame that they have, or are they miserable because no one really loves the real them. So I think when he had a taste of what he really wanted, which is to be loved, all of a sudden it just felt nothing. So he just felt
Nothing.
like it was an euphoria of feeling, you know what I mean? Like you're just having this greatest encounter with a person, but it actually meant anything beyond, let's say, the primitive, the primal feelings of, let's say, sexual attraction or something, but you don't have a connection with this person. So it rises and then it falls, and you look at this person and you realize, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, who is this person? So he was just seeking something. And when he got it, it meant nothing. And I think it's
Yeah,
brilliant that he was able to capture this.
that's an excellent point. And I think, but he's also out to not he he's frustrated that he can't smell himself, which incredibly incredibly narcissistic.
What do you think it mean? Like, what do you think it means? Smelling myself. What was he looking for?
Well,
Probably
look, I mean, we all emit some kind of,
exactly. Some
yeah.
some of it really unlike. So sometimes you shouldn't emit this, John Baptiste. You don't know what you're missing. So definitely, what I want to know is when he says sometimes I would philosophize about he can't smell himself. Does this mean he can't? He doesn't have a soul, like he doesn't know himself. He doesn't have a soul. He doesn't know who he is. And for him, scent means knowledge, means knowing who you are. I think he based himself off all those people collecting their scents to mask the fact that he is identityless. And this is something that
Yes.
I've seen with a lot of people who have been in particular situations, very, very disturbing situations where someone who has been abused for a long time and had to take on like characters of people around them, that when they finally reach a stage when they're living a happy, healthy life, they realize there was nothing. Or a performer who has been performing a lot of characters, but deep, deep down, they know they're just a shallow, crappy person and they have no identity. So I think it tells a lot. This scene, it felt to me like when you would see a movie and it's like a rock star or something on stage and they're just, and you would think, wow, look at them. They've been dreaming of this moment. And deep down, this person doesn't feel anything. So they start hating on all these crowds and the facade of it all.
Mm.
That in the end, he kind of made them eat him. Can you believe this? This scene was written brilliantly and it was really shot beautifully too. But I really felt that he wanted them to consume him. At least this would give him a bit of love that he missed. Like they would just have them inside.
100%. 100%.
So a very
Yeah.
messed up story.
Very messed up story, yet fascinating to every step of the way.
I know. And the way he would describe the sense itself, like this guy has been collecting words and similes to describe Patrick Süskind. What a brilliant writer to describe scents, to even bring a scent to the mind. I mean, what a dirty man smells like, what a beautiful person smells like, what a baby. Like in the beginning of the book, Anani is describing, or like the woman who breastfeeds, they call her a wet nurse, like describes babies and why she loves babies. And it's like, wow, oh my goodness, the way she describes why babies differ in scent, it's just something that I think a mother would probably describe best. So that he was able to do that. I mean, I wanted to get inside his brain and ask him, like, how did you write this? So just it's I think it's a scary novel because it has a lot inside it, a lot of things, a lot of themes, but also it talks a lot about the complexity of the human desire, the human obsession, because there's nothing worse than being obsessed with something and when finally have it, boom, it just means nothing. And you see it for what it is, that probably your obsession heightened it and made it more beautiful than it actually was. This is why he was seeking this beautiful poor girl who got murdered because someone was like, this is where my feelings interacted. Like I felt very bad that a few girls and women were killed just because an idiot, like was obsessed with like, who gives a shit about you? Just kill him already. But the idea that this beautiful young girl who had a lot in front of her was killed so that he could take her scent, and at the same time he didn't even feel happy. Bitch, you deserve to die. I'm happy they ate you in the end, John Baptiste. So um I just he's like happy. It's just beautiful the way, yes, you met your demise. Good for you.
Oh,
So
good. The zombies are about to eat me. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, good
Yes.
ending.
Oh, so I can live on, with the.
In their belly. They will shit you at the end. I'm sorry, you will never be immortal in their bodies unless you are thinking about, getting turned into energy and metabolism and stuff inside of them. Wow.
I was thinking if Perfume had been released 25 years before 2006, it would probably be extremely controversial. I thought of all things, I thought of Ken Russell's The Devils, with like the orgy scenes and everything. Because I was thinking, okay, in 2006, I mean,
Very
I
similar.
love the fact on the Blu-ray, the Motion Picture Association of America gave it an R rating for aberrant behavior. It just makes me laugh.
What
Okay.
the hell is aberrant behavior, you guys? Are you serious?
Yeah, that they have something they hate aberrational
This
behavior.
film is
So they
immoral.
so they always punish them by giving them the NC-17 or X rating.
I love they didn't give it NC-17. That's good because it's not NC-17 worthy. Although if they
No,
had
no, no,
someone
no.
who would have
Mhm.
made it, I think they would have. If you think about it, 25 years earlier, if they made this film, it would have had like multiple sex scenes, multiple unnecessary killings, many naked women getting sniffed, and like because it's gonna be so graphic and it's gonna be so controversial that 3 years later people would be like, oh no, I can't get over that scene. I'm sorry, dude. No. So yeah, definitely it's good that it was made in this transitory period. But if they made it now, do you think they would
A
have gone
25-year people 25.
but
Yeah,
tell
I'm
me
good.
25 years earlier?
25 years ago, people would have said, what sick man made this?"
But
Like,
what if it was made now? Tell me. Do you think it would have gone salt burn or, like washed off, like let's not have unnecessary sex in movies? Which way do you think it would have gone? Because now we have like queer and we have sober and we have like films that are supposedly daring, but I think they rely more on the daring part than actual artistry behind it. I don't know. I haven't,
yes.
but this is what it feels to me, honestly.
Sometimes. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I do know that I mean, they chose Tom Tykwer because he actually read the book in 1986. So
Yeah,
he read it when it was actually new. And I just think that he just needed a little bit more brevity here.
me too. Me
The
too.
location photography is incredible.
Yeah.
I love going to these different places. You know, I mean, with the film having multiple countries supported. I mean, every month in 2006, it first got released in Germany, then it got released in France, and then Spain, and then the US. So, I mean, like, I like the fact that this was an international collaboration, even though there are flaws in that model.
Yeah.
But I mean, and Roger Ebert of all people, he loved it. He gave it 4 stars. He said, "Look, it took a lot of it. This was a very daring movie to make, a very brave movie to make. I mean, there's stuff in here that American audiences are just not accustomed to,
Definitely.
like the orgies and all that stuff. There's just and people are going to be weirded out by the constant sniffing
Of
and
course.
and
Exactly.
uh,
Especially
there are
because
going to be
they're
put off
against
by
people
that.
being sniffed. Yes. It's a daring movie. No one can say otherwise. It's a very daring movie. I totally agree.
Very daring movie. Yeah.
Totally agree. But should it have been daring, more daring or not? Do you think it should have been more daring or no? Because if more would have been, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they were thinking about, look, we can't alienate our audience. We can't scare the audience away. We can't go too extreme with this. But I mean, I think they found a proper balance for it. I mean, it was going to be a tough sell to any audience, to be perfectly honest,
Of
because of the
course.
subject matter.
Of course.
But it was a success. I mean, it made over twice its budget, so it was a success. But of course, and it got awards, but it wasn't like recognized by like the major Oscars or BAFTA or anything like that. It just, I think,
Definitely
yeah,
not.
people are like, no, this is too weird.
Yes, but they don't want that. They want a narrative they can stick to. They want something they can understand, like the musical of Emilia Perez and all the women, and it's Conclave, and it's Fiennes returning, or,
We
Outrun.
don't want to see a guy sniffing dead bodies from
No,
toe to head, from
exactly.
head to toe. Like,
I feel like award season needs
mm.
something, or it's like Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan, and I think they want something. Like they want a story that you can sell them. Like I think when we're talking about how the studio execs are always lazy, they want you to, if you're pitching a movie, to pitch it like this movie versus this movie. Like it's Interstellar meets, blah blah blah. It's Titanic meets, Alien. So they want that. They want something big.
Yes.
So how are you going to describe this to the award people? A
Well, yeah, it's
guy
about
who
a,
loses sense of scent, sniffing corpses in order to retain what the I don't know. And he wants to kill beautiful girls to make the perfect what? No, thank you.
What? Yeah, it's just it would have been a tough sell. It's actually surprising how well it did, despite that. And uh, you know, I don't know. Do you think maybe somebody should take another stab at this as a mini series?
Yes, but please less dialogue. I want it to be very artistic. Like a mini series, they will have many scenes with a lot of people talking. Good. Make the dialogue dynamic. I don't care. But at
No
least
voiceover. No
no
voiceover. I mean, look,
voiceover.
I like John Hurt. He had a warm voice, but I mean, he wasn't needed. He
It's the
wasn't
idea
needed
of
here.
describing what John Baptiste is doing. Maybe he's trying to make him more approachable to people, to audiences, but don't. He shouldn't. He should feel like an alien, a freak of nature that came upon our
Yes.
lives and then disappeared in a very messy, chaotic, and brutal way, which, just like his birth, his death was the same. So
Hmm.
it's very sad sometimes, but it makes sense for this character. So I think, yeah, make a mini series, make the recipe for success, but try to make the main character away from it. Like bring him in all the scenes where he doesn't speak or he's as mysterious as possible. And bring a guy who has really, really expressive eyes. Because I think it's all about the eye work so that when he's sniffing, he doesn't look stupid because he could be sniffing and you feel like
Right.
Ben was really good in that. He knew how to control his facial. But someone else would have been like, okay, no, honey, you're not supposed to do that. So, do you recommend both the movie and the book to people or not?
I recommend the book first. Read the book first, and then watch the movie. So in that essence, I do recommend both. I mean, look, I read the book because I liked the movie.
I know.
So, it works out just great. It's not out on 4K yet, but there is a Blu-ray you can get from Paramount or distributed by Paramount. And it does have one bonus feature, the story of Perfume, which has interviews with basically, yeah, Tom Tykwer, Dustin Hoffman, Alan Rickman, and Ben Whishaw, and the actress that played the daughter. I
Lauren,
forget his
Lauren.
name
I
off
think
the top of my head, but
Laura, I think, or something. Laura.
Laura, yeah, yeah, they're all interviewed, and they sound like they're taking. What's funny is that Tom Tykwer said that he Dustin Hoffman and Alan Rickman were his first choices, and he got them.
Wow. Look at the power.
The power after Run Lola Run, yeah. And look, did you ever see Cloud Atlas?
I okay, do you love it? Tell me. Because I feel like I wanted to love it, but then didn't. But I think it deserves because I watched it like really long ago. So maybe I was kind of harsh back then. Sometimes when you rewatch a movie, you either love it more or you just feel like no. So tell me, what do you think?
I loved its ambition. I
Mm,
loved its ambition and what it was trying to accomplish. I don't think it was successful,
mm,
but that would be one I would definitely be interested in maybe checking out again. I was thinking of all the other films in Tom Tykwer's filmography,
mm.
because I mean, Run Lola Run is still my favorite Tom Tykwer film,
Wow.
hands down. But I mean, look, and I didn't want to do a full ranking of his filmography because I've only seen about a quarter of them, to be perfectly honest. Because I never saw The International or some of the other ones that he's made. Just a
There's
lot
a
of them
lot of them
I
pretty
missed out
good.
on.
Yeah, exactly. For me, you just stood at Run Lola Run, and then you have Cloud Atlas, and you also have Perfume. So for me, I think I only watched the three. I haven't watched the last. Should we?
Yeah, yeah.
Did we make a lot of films, really? Are we missing out on the guy that much? Wow, I feel bad.
I can't believe he also contributed to the music for the Matrix sequels,
Oh,
Matrix Revolutions and Matrix Resurrections, but he also did some of the score for this movie too. So,
but the score for this movie was very powerful at times, like especially
yes.
scenes. Oh wow, it's very haunting. And the idea of him whenever he relives, I think this is a very creepy but very accurate also detail. when he's reliving the murders. This is what serial killers have. They live
Yes.
it in their minds over and over to get aroused and to get stuff like that. And I also like the fact that they made him very asexual. I think it fits this character. He's not interested in sex. He's a pervert. His
Hmm.
idea of sexual arousal or whatever is only confined to his idea of assent. So he's not even interested in having. So it's also a brilliant detail. There's a lot of great stuff to put your to put in mind regarding both the book and the movie, but especially the book. However, great things always come with discussion, with revisiting and stuff like that. And I'm glad that we talked about it and watched it and read it. Can't wait for everyone to just tell us if they like the book, if they like the movie, which they like more,
Hmm.
and also recommend if you want us to discuss something.
Awesome. I'm totally down for that. Oh, this was so awesome.
This is
Yeah, but yeah, everybody pick up the Blu-ray, support physical media. It's got a great extra feature on there, but like I said, read the book first.
read the book.
Yeah, read the book first.
And if you don't want to do both, we advise you to read the book. It's even more important. It will take you on a ride you never expected. Seriously. Even read the book before you watch our video and then watch our video and tell us what you think. Okay? So, Chris, it was very great talking to you.
Yeah. And I feel like that nobody's talked about perfume in like almost like 15 years. Nobody, I don't think a lot of people has talked about this in so long. And I'm so happy that
Yeah, but it's one
like
of
we
my
did
favorite
this.
books ever. I'm so angry. I love this book so much. I'm glad we're bringing it back. Book clubs, pick up this book, please.
Yes,
Watch the film.
100%.
Chris, it was awesome talking to you. Thank you for coming and talking about perfume with me.
As always, it's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.